How customers actually make decisions, why your offers fail. Most D2C brands think their offers aren't working because the price is wrong, or the bundle isn't compelling enough, or the discount isn't big enough. The problem isn't what you're offering, it's how you're framing it. If you understand how people actually make decisions, your conversion rates will look totally different. Let me show you how. People don't want low prices, they want to feel like they won. Here's a question. Would you rather pay $45 for something or pay $60 and save $15? Objectively, the first option is cheaper. You're paying less money, but the second option feels better because it comes with a story. You saved $15. You got a deal. You won. This is the difference between everyday low prices and promotions. Everyday low prices are objectively better for the customer, but promotions feel better because they create a moment of victory. When you remove that moment, you remove the emotional reward. And people don't just buy things because they're cheap. They buy things because buying them feels good. This is why brands that replace promotions with permanent low pricing often see conversion drop, even though the price is better. And a story with savings is a story worth telling. This also affects retention, because promotions don't just move units, they create post-purchase justification. After someone buys, they need to feel good about the decision. And I saved $33 is much more satisfying story than I spent $45. That story reduces buyer's remorse. It supports repeat buying. It gives people something to tell themselves and others. So if you're testing offers, don't just test price, test the frame. Replace now $39 with save $16 today was $55. Same price, different story, measure conversion, refund rates, and next order rates in 30 days. And I think you will be surprised. Here's the second thing most brands get wrong. People don't reject costs, they reject how those costs are framed. Let me give you an example. Imagine I'm selling you a subscription for $240 a year. That might feel expensive. You're thinking $240 is a lot of money. But what if I reframe it? That's $20 a month or 67 cents a day, less than a coffee. Same cost, different frame, and the second version feels completely different. This is because large numbers trigger psychological pain. Small, familiar increments feel harmless. Reframing doesn't change reality, but it changes emotional interpretation. Customers aren't rejecting the cost, they're rejecting the comparison their brain is making. When you say $240, they're comparing that to other large purchases, a weekend trip, a new piece of furniture, things they rarely buy. When you say 67 cents a day, they're comparing it to coffee, lunch, a snack, things they buy without thinking. So if you're seeing pricing objections, test alternative frames before you offer discounts. Reframe recurring costs into daily or per use equivalents. Anchor pricing against what customers already spend habitually. And in your retention messaging, use frames that reduce pain. Don't remind people they're spending $240 a year. Remind them they're spending less than a coffee a day to never think about this problem again. Third insight, people value having a choice more than the convenience of the outcome. Most brands think customers want the easiest, fastest, most efficient path. So they optimize for one perfect flow, one default option, one recommended choice. But removing choice makes people passive. Even if the result is objectively better, it feels less satisfying. Choice itself creates psychological ownership and engagement. When people choose, they share responsibility for the outcome. You don't need the choices to be meaningfully different. You just need people to feel like they had a say. So here's how to apply this. Offer customers a small, low-risk choices in your flows. Not do you want this or not, but how do you want this to happen? Let them choose timing, channel, format, delivery cadence, personalization preferences. In your cart, don't just recommend one bundle, show 2 or 3 options and let them pick. In your email flows, give them a choice of paths. In your loyalty program, let them choose how they want to earn or redeem. You're not making the experience more complex, you're making it more engaging, and engagement drives retention. Fourth insight, when customers clearly understand the trade-offs, they default to optimism instead of suspicion. Here's the thing about offers that look too good to be true. people don't trust them. If your pricing is cheaper than competitors and you don't explain why, customers assume there's a catch. They get anxious, they hesitate, and even if they buy, they churn fast because they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. But if you explicitly state the trade-off, the anxiety disappears. We're faster because we don't offer customization, or we're cheaper because we manufacture direct, or we focus on this one thing, which means we don't do these other three things. This is transparency as a retention tool, not because transparency is morally good, but because it reduces buyer's remorse and post-purchase anxiety, which are key drivers of early churn. So in your onboarding emails, explain what customers don't get and why that's intentional. Frame limitations as trade-offs, not weaknesses. I think you will find customers stay longer when they understand why your product is structured the way it is. And last insight, people prefer making a decision with others over making a better decision alone. Shared decisions feel safer even if they're objectively worse. This is the foundation of social proof. But most brands use social proof wrong. They show star ratings and testimonials and call it a day. That's fine for acquisition, but for retention, social proof needs to show what people like them already do after purchase. Customers delay or churn when they feel isolated in a decision. So in your post-purchase flows, show them what others are doing. Most people start with this routine, or customers like you typically reorder every 6 weeks, or 70% of the users enable this feature in their first month. Frame actions as normal behavior, not a bold individual step. Replace persuasion with reassurance through group context. In your card, show which bundles are most popular. In your loyalty program, show how many people have unlocked each tier. In your reactivation emails, show how many customers came back after pausing. You're not pressuring them, you're showing them they're not alone. And that safety drives action. Here's how to bring all of this together. Audit your pricing, offers, and upsells through the lens of decision psychology. Ask yourself 5 questions. 1. Am I giving customers a story to tell or just a price to pay? Can they say, I saved X or just I spent Y? 2. How am I framing costs? Am I using numbers that trigger pain or numbers that feel familiar and harmless? 3. Am I giving customers real choices or just forcing a default? Even small gracious options increase engagement. 4. Am I being transparent about trade-offs or hiding limitations? Clarity builds trust. Ambiguity builds suspicion. 5. Am I showing social proof of behavior or just ratings? People want to see what others like them are doing. Then run tests. Reframe one subscription offer to show daily costs instead of annual. Add one extra choice to your cart or checkout flow. Add a "you saved" line to your order confirmation. Test an email variant that shows what most customers do versus one that just explains features. Measure not only conversions, but satisfaction signals, repeat rates, and long-term retention. Because the goal isn't to trick people into buying. It's to help them to make decisions that feel good, stay good, and lead to loyalty. If this has helped you and you want to see how your CRM compares to the top D2C brands making $10 to $200 million per year, take our free 5-minute retention score assessment. You will receive instant results and a customized report so you know exactly what your next steps are. The link is here in the description. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next one.